Hey everybody, welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime with two brothers. I'm Ben.
And I wish it was fall again.
Don't we all? Actually, I don't, because it's cold now where I'm at, and I don't like it.
Well, it's a little chilly here.
Too cold.
Too cold? How cold is it there?
The middle of May, and it's 50 degrees. Ain't right.
It is 60 out there right now, but the lows are in the 40s every night, such as the Pacific Northwest. Especially when it's clear. Our temperature differential here when it's clear outside is just huge. It's ridiculous.
So technically, I could go fall camping right now.
Yeah, especially here.
I could go into a cornfield. That's about it.
Not here. I could go into the Olympic National Forest, or I could go to Mount Baker National Forest, or Wenatchee National Forest, or the Alpine Lakes Wilderness Area, or the Snoqualmie National Forest, or the Mount Rainier National Park.
Must be nice. Well, what have you been up to since last we spoke?
I've been playing lots of Returnal.
Returnal? I'm unfamiliar.
Yeah, I've been playing lots of Returnal.
Tell me about Returnal.
I've been playing lots of Returnal.
Okay. It's a time cyclic game.
Yeah, it's a roguelike where you die a lot and you play it back up. It's pretty good. It's on PS5. I've been having fun with it. I do wish it had more persistent power growth between runs, but they love you.
Is it just all you need is kill the video game?
I mean, yeah, this has been a genre for a little while now. It's getting more popular, but this is cool. It's like a psychological horror variant on that, with kind of a bullet hell type combat system. It's pretty fun.
Ooh, Tohos.
Again, I wish it was a little more on the Hades end of that scale of power growth, but
that makes sense.
But then again, Hades is like a perfect game, so.
Would you say it's a perfect game? Like of all the games?
Hades is really, really good.
Yeah, but perfect? That's a high
it's
bar.
Pretty perfect.
High bar.
Pretty perfect.
Have you watched anything else?
Let's see here. I've been watching Clear Card.
Yeah. Still good?
It's cute. It's good. If I had any complaint about Clear Card is that it works a whole lot like a 90s magical girl show.
I mean, that is the idea.
It's not particularly interested in its plot. And it goes off of anime canon, so Mei Ling is in it.
Oh, dear.
It's like, oh, hello. Instead of you, I'm used to you not existing because you weren't in the manga.
Is it still slightly, probably, definitely problematic?
Well, I mean, there's not so much I'm in love with my teacher in this season, so that's nice.
That is going against the spirit of the show.
That's going against the spirit of Clamp. No one's been hot for teacher yet. But don't worry, I'm sure it'll get there.
That is the real plot of the show.
Clamp is hot for teacher. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I watched. Well, I started Falcon Winter Soldier, and then I just kind of stopped because it ended up being not very great.
What? A Marvel movie not being great?
It's a Marvel series.
I'm shocked.
It was okay. I started watching Bad Batch. Now that's good.
Bad Batch. I'm gonna look that
It's
one
the
up.
new Star Wars cartoon.
I'm not up on the Star Warses.
Well, you should watch Bad Batch. Well, actually, you need to watch a lot more before you can watch Bad Batch.
That's why I'm not really into the Star Wars. It's a high buy-in, just like Marvel.
I mean, at this point, Marvel's a super high buy-in. If they have another gap year, man, it's going to be like impossible for. Like, can you imagine trying to get your kids into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like, I mean, it's just not possible. Like, you have to watch so many frickin' movies.
No, not interested.
Really, for Bad Batch, all you kind of need to watch would be the last season of Clone Wars, which is like 10 episodes or something.
Now, see, that's a reasonable buy-in.
And if you know enough about Clone Wars, you don't even have to like watched all of it or anything. Clone Wars is one of those things. I get asked from people from time to time, should I watch the Clone Wars cartoon? And it's such a complicated question.
Is it, though?
Well, it's really long. And some of it is very, very good. And other parts of it are very, very bad.
You should come up with a curated episode list, clearly.
Different people have tried, but it's hard with any of that stuff because you kind of want all of it so you can get the sort of characters. And sometimes you have to put bad episodes on it. That way you're set up for later episodes. Either way, it's a problem. Normally what I say when people ask that question is like, well, how much do you care about Star Wars? Or how much do you want to care about Star Wars? Because, I mean, there's a lot of crap to get through. It's not like Rebels. Rebels is easy. if you care about Star Wars even a little, you should watch Rebels. Rebels is just good. First season is a little weak, but after that, it's like all gas.
All gas, no breaks.
It's really good. But Clone Wars is just such a complicated... the buy-in for Clone Wars is tough. There's a lot of bad. The whole first season is pretty garbage. And the later season, it gets better as it keeps going, but there's still just bad episodes from here to there. Where, like, even Rebels doesn't really have any bad episodes. It just has less good episodes.
Let me see. What have I been up to? I'm keeping up with all the shows that I started watching last time. So Nagatoro is still good. Shadow House is still good. The Killing Slimes Isekai, where she's a witch, is still cute.
Yep. Oh, that's good.
And the Higa Hero show, where the guy has a JK living in his apartment, that's still wholesome. I did watch Combatants Will Be Dispatched.
Okay.
So you may not remember that. We both gave that a pass during the Hotake episode. But since I am reading all the Konosuba books, I was like, well, this is by the same guy, and he quit writing these books so that he could write Combatants Will Be Dispatched. So like, I'll give it a shot, because I didn't know when we talked about it that it was by the same dude.
Okay.
You remember all the problems you had with Konosuba? And there were quite a few.
I mean, I'm sure.
Like, they're just terrible people, which is kind of the idea. They're terrible people, but they have a good heart, and it's hilarious. That is the upshot. They're terrible people, and we're making fun of them. Combatants Will Be Dispatched is all the terrible bits and none of the good bits.
That's disappointing.
So they're just terrible people.
But it's not played up for laughs?
No, and in fact, the heroes, if you want to call them, the protags, they are part of some organization that actually rewards them for doing bad things, and they get literal evil points that they can use to, like, buy upgrades for things.
See, that would be funny if it was played for laughs, but you're making it sound like as though it is not, and that means it's just kind of bad.
It tries to play for laughs, but it just doesn't land. It's just they're bad people, and it's more cringe humor than anything else.
Speaking of isekais, did you see where, like, a new season of Overlord got greenlit, I believe?
A new season and a movie.
Oh,
yes, I'm excited. Apparently it's slated for October.
Oh, that'll be nice. Did you get to watch the Demon Slayer movie?
I did not.
Ah.
No, that was during one of my shots.
I watched it. It was good.
I was dead. I've heard very good things. Very good things.
No, it's a good watch. I mean, I knew what was going to happen because if you read the manga, it's like toe to tip that arc.
And Komi Can't Communicate got an anime greenlit.
Oh, good.
Good for it. Although I don't know how well it's going to translate over, because most of that manga is filler about all the other people. And there's maybe 20 chapters of plot. So there might be enough for a show, but man, is it slow. Like, we're on chapter 300 right now, and we're just now getting a confession, and it's not even the confession.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know what surely you knew what you signed up for. It said she can't communicate, not that she can.
This is true. But you'd expect other people to communicate, and boy, howdy, do they communicate, and it's nothing that you really care about most of the time. So it goes. Well, speaking of communicating through satellites that have GPS that get you to the outdoors.
No.
It was a long walk.
That one was just very bad.
Sorry. You want to talk about Yuru camps?
I will always talk about Yuru camps. Unfortunately, the only downside of talking about Yuru camps is, in general, there's not much to talk about when it comes to Yuru camp.
Well, there's camping. And
there's camping. And
I think we nailed it. That's it.
This one at least does have arcs? ?
Does it? It has an arc?
No. It's got the I go camping over New Year's arc. It has the girls almost die arc. It has the Nadeshiko goes camping alone arc. And then we travel so far away from our home arc.
So far away.
So far. I forget that other countries are small.
Yeah.
It's like when you hear people who live in Europe complain about like, oh, I would go there, but you know, it's like 30 miles away. And it's like, are you insane? My church is like 30 miles away.
I think you calculated the other day, like the length of the trip, the big, long, multi-day trip.
So long.
450 kilometers is
it's such
the distance
such a
from
distance.
Lafayette to Indianapolis and back, I believe.
Yes. It's a whole round trip from here to Forks, Washington and back. It's just so like nothing. And I'm not going to say that's like, yeah, I mean, that's a decent road trip. I mean, it's a good 3-hour road trip, but it's a 3-hour road trip. La-di-da.
I want to double check it real quick. So this would be from Lafayette to Bloomington and back.
Yeah.
450.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an obnoxious length.
I mean, it's a length that that's a good half daylight hours drive, but it's not. I do not think, oh my gosh, what a road trip.
Then again, they do say that she takes that on a moped going 30 miles an hour. 30 kilometers an hour.
I mean, yes, for sure, that kind of sucks. But just the super long distance of from here to Forks and back is just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a whole 18 miles an hour.
When I think of a road trip, I think of going down the coast of California.
Yeah. Everything's bigger here. That's just how it goes.
That's true.
I don't know that we're going to cover all the characters and whatnot again.
We did that last time.
Yeah, if you want that, go listen to our other one of the other coverings of Yuru Camp that we've done.
Yeah, I guess the other one was
we did Heya Camp.
Room.
This time, we're going to talk about arcs of camping and spoilers ahead.
Arcing camps.
But also, you should go watch it.
You should watch it. Like, it's a good chill time. It's 13 episodes, but it doesn't feel like it because you just chillax, man. The music's great. It has a modicum of drama. The girls almost die in it this time.
Do they? I mean, I guess relatively speaking, yes, they come inches from death's door.
From death's door.
But from any other show, it's like somebody thought about maybe they'll die eventually, or they'll catch cold at least.
Oh, well, I mean, catching a cold in Japan means you're laid up in the hospital for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, you will die. So let's see. Let's go through each of these arcs.
So-called. Arcs, so-called.
So when I started watching the second season the first time, I got 10 minutes into the episode and I realized, wait a minute, I'm watching season 1. Let me go make sure that I'm watching season 2. I couldn't tell the difference.
I mean, you can't really. I did really, really like the first episode of season 1 of season 2 because it's a prequel. It's Rin's first camping trip, and it's kind of cute because she's like the expert camper. So it's kind of fun to see her like fuck it all up.
She's just terrible at it. I forget how she screws it up.
Just like everything.
She tries to light a log on fire with a match.
Just a log.
That was kind of funny.
Someone hasn't been taught about heat energy.
I did like how her dad was sort of keeping an eye on her from up above and sending help out non-discreetly.
Yeah.
And then she makes a cup noodle.
As she burns her rice or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't really understand how she screwed that up. How do you do that? How do you burn the rice?
Well, she undercooked her rice is actually what she did because it was crunchy.
Couldn't you just cook it longer?
I mean, you could, but after you've already poured.
These are the real questions from this series.
Camp has you ask. It's like, couldn't she have just cooked her rice? Couldn't they have just brought blankets? I mean, they could have, but they didn't. You see, so that's why they almost died that one time.
Oof, yeah. Yeah, seeing her, struggle. I mean, she didn't struggle a whole lot, but struggle some. That was nice.
I mean, as much struggle as one does.
That's as much drama as we're probably going to get besides the death.
I mean, they do almost die. They're like inches away.
Well, what happened next? There was
she goes camping over New Year's and is depressed that certain roads are closed during winter, and it's a bummer.
She wasn't depressed. She learned from season 1 that the roads do close, and she was actually prepared this time.
Yes. Yeah. No, she goes camping over New Year, and a road freezes over. You see, because it snowed.
Oh yes, and then she had to stay a couple extra days, which was just the worst.
Yeah. And she had to go stay over at Nadeshiko's grandma's house.
She got to meet a new friend.
She did.
It's Nadeshiko's old friend from when she used to live in this area.
Oh, and we got to see pictures of chubby Nadeshiko, which was awesome.
That I was not prepared for.
It was very cute.
I was like, why is she fat in this picture? Now, it took me a minute to realize that she was fat in that picture because what I actually thought was it was some kind of reaction face.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Because this show is real good at reaction faces.
It super is. You just want to gif a whole lot of them.
All of them.
I love the little H face that they make.
I love the H face. I kept trying to make an emoticon of it, but the best I could do was like an eye.
I mean, you could almost do
maybe
an eye.
Maybe like that. No.
But the other issue would be something like that. Well, come on.
You need a monospace font.
You would literally just use an H at that point.
Yeah, but then how do you?
Yeah, I know. Getting the eyes above the H. Yeah, no, it's a big problem.
This is hard.
You're not wrong. Getting the spacing right is just complicated.
It just doesn't work. We'll have to workshop that.
I know. I would love to have the H face emoticon.
Now, the one that I don't understand is the weird faces that the two sisters
liar
are
face.
making. Yes.
The we are lying face.
That's a weird face.
It's a weird face, but I'm for it just because their lies are hilarious.
So, New Year's camping, are you for it? I think I would be for it if I had a beach with some Tories.
I know, right? Watch the sunrise over the ocean.
Yeah,
over
or
an
ocean. I would like an ocean. That'd be nice.
I've got one. Well, I've got the Sound. That's very close to the ocean.
You can't see the sunrise over your ocean.
No, I can only see the sunset over my ocean, but I can see the sunrise over the mountains. Pretty good.
That is a thing that you can do there. It's called Diamond Fuji. It's very impressive if you get there on time.
If you calculate your time correctly, which they do not do in the show. More drama. See, whoever says that these shoujo dobutsu-in shows don't have drama, just aren't watching them. Just aren't watching the right ones. Some of these just have like super hardcore drama. Like, will they make it in time to watch the sunrise, the first sunrise of New Year's rise over Mount Fuji? I mean, they even Tokyo drift to try and get there on time.
I was going to say the initial deed it, but yes.
That's the same difference.
I had noticed, well, maybe I'd forgotten about it, but watching this season reminded me that there are so many plot hooks that the show just ignores completely. Actively ignores them.
Plot hook is a strong term.
Well, there are places where you're like, okay, if this was any other show, like, she's going to twist her ankle.
Oh, yes, that's
they're going to lose all their stuff.
Oh, there's tons of those where you're just like, something bad could happen here. And you're thinking that in the back of your mind. And then you're like, yeah, but this is Yuru Camp.
Yeah. I'm like,
there's nothing.
Her moped's going to break down. She's going to get, no, it's fine.
Well, it's because, first off, all you have to do is think, well, something could happen here and one of the girls would be sad. And you just be like, yeah, but it's Yuru Camp. None of the girls are ever sad. And you're like, oh, well, then it won't happen.
The most they get is H-face.
Yeah. Or they're just kind of like, really?
The closest they get is Nadeshiko trips sometimes.
She does trip. And those girls almost die. There is the time the girls almost die.
Actually, no, there was weeping. Because Sensei couldn't drink alcohol for like a month.
That's true. And there was Inoko's little sister crying because she got lied to what a thing was.
Yeah, well, she probably deserved it.
You probably.
Let's see. What happened after New Year's? We had
is that where they almost die, or is that the solo camp?
That was more solo camping, I think, but not Nadeshiko's solo camp.
Season 2. Okay, hold on. I'm going to Google this and figure out what the episodes are.
So 3 was surprise camping and some deep thoughts, where Rin realizes that while she's had fun over the last year camping with folks, she really enjoys her solo camping. And I was expecting some Jack Handy deep thoughts, and we didn't get it.
No, but they were like actually like real deep thoughts, where it's like, oh, it's a way to appreciate loneliness. It's like, oh, I like the phrasing of that. That's very good.
That was the only deep thought, though.
I was
a
very Japanese
Jack
sentiment.
Handy deep thoughts.
Like if the moon were made out of cheese, would you eat it?
Yes, in that vein. But we didn't get any. And then we had a whole episode of what?
Yes. Where they make all their money and she gets to buy her thing. And again, this is another one of those times where you think that they may have like some sort of like drama where she saved up all this money to buy a cool lamp. And then the lamp's gone the next day. But they had that one off of the pass because they're like, the store clerks are like, she's in here all the time looking at that lamp. Should we set one aside for her? And the other one's like, yes. Let us do that. And you're like, oh, then we know we'll get it. I will say the ending to that episode over the ending theme is really cute with the little lamp turning on and all the lights in the house turning off and then on again. And she buys a special thing for her sister, and that's really cute.
The little hand warmer.
I know how that works.
I don't know. And someone pointed out my question because they're like,
isn't it dangerous to light it on fire?
Yeah, it's like full of butane and you light it and then you close it up and you just keep it on you all day. And someone's like, isn't that dangerous? And someone else is like, no, it's fine. And I believe them.
Because it's like some sort of chemical reaction. It's not actually like a true burning. I don't even know.
Butane hand warmers. Oh, there's a Zippo one. It's $20. That's literally the thing.
Oh, that is like literally the thing. Well, and here's the thing too. No, that's propane, not butane. Very different.
How does it work? It doesn't tell me how it works.
Well, Google it. How work?
How
butane hand warmers work? How work?
The concept behind the Zippo hand warmer is that through combustion of Zippo fluid, it becomes a catalytic heater, relying on a catalyzed chemical reaction to break down molecules and create heat. So it is technically combusting, but there's no flame. So it's burnt.
Yeah, it's burning, but since it's contained, it can't burn normally. So it's probably just converting the butane into water.
I mean, that's how combustion works, right? Yes.
Well, yeah, but it's doing it
yes.
flamelessly.
Flamelessly. I don't know what the metal is they're using, but it's a thing. Well, that's a thing that I have learned from this show. Yeah.
While they state that they are flame-free, this does not mean they are free of combustion.
Still got CO2 and water coming out of it.
Weird.
I wonder how hot it gets.
I don't
know. This page on itstactical.com.
I'm on highconsumption.com. Thank you very much.
It doesn't say. It does say that you could get a slight skin burn if you hold it too long.
I mean, yeah, probably. Because I imagine that, like, if you, like, in Yuru Camp, they show you putting it in a cloth thing, and it's like, yeah, I would probably do that because I mean, if it's a combustion heat, it's probably pretty hot. So
yeah, I suspect it's probably 150 or so.
Probably gets nice and
hot enough that you shouldn't touch it directly. Well, that was a fun detour.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I did not know how much, or I guess not how much, how little these girls are paid at their temp jobs, because they spend a long time saving up $100.
Yeah, it's true. Well, Japan's economy is all higgledy-piggledy. They're also like, oh, this is the cheapest camp I've been to, and it's like $7.50. But then the normal camps they go to, it's like $10. And you're like, but that's $10. That's not very expensive.
It's so expensive, though.
What is it? I mean, it costs as much as a single banana.
This is true.
Well, half a banana.
I want to know how much a campground around here is.
I'm sure it's about $100.
At least, probably. Okay, what's the closest one to here? A-OK Campground. Got 3 stars.
Okay, see here, I'm going to one that's on washington.gocamping.com.
Nightly, $25 plus tax.
Okay, so that's still not that bad.
That's a little higher than I thought it would be. But they've also got like water and sewer and a 30 amp. It's an RV camp, basically.
I just want to know how much it costs. Tell me dollars. Websites. Tell me dollars.
Okay, so Primitive, which is what I assume.
Yeah, that's what our classic camp tent is.
$20.
Yeah, that's nothing. So it's still cheaper there. What's also wild to me is, like, you think of camping in the United States. You're out in the flippin' woods. You're away from everything. You could get eaten by a bear easy. In all these Yuru camps, it's like, oh, look, I can see the city skyline from here. It's like, how is that camping? I would love to be able to go camping
within
like
eyesight of civilization. No, even here in Indiana, where it is not exactly, jungle or anything, or deep forest. However, we still have to carry firearms into the woods, even though sometimes
you can be harassed by
because there's bears,
bear, lynx, coyotes,
tweaked out meth heads. That's also a concern.
More dangerous than all of the other above.
We got a lot of that wildlife here in Indiana. Anyway, by the way, why would you get a glass lantern?
Because it's cool.
It may be cool, but how do you pack a glass lantern without it breaking?
Why would I get multiple Nixie tube clocks?
I mean, because they're cool.
They're rad.
They are
They're rad. That's it. It's the only reason.
But you got to like pack these things up real tight, right?
Not wrong.
Just get an LED thingamajig and a solar charger. All those girls should have solar chargers for their phones.
That's true. That would stop you from getting, like, dead, frozen to death.
Speaking of frozen to death, that's up next.
That is up next. They do hug Caribou-kun, and that's pretty rad.
Well, he's irresistible.
He's completely irresistible. I keep thinking the girl with the glasses, what's her name?
I don't know.
Hold on. I got you. Chiaki. I keep thinking Chiaki is a serious type, but she's not. She's a Genki type, and it like blows my mind every time.
I think she's this subtle mix of both, because she tries to be serious.
But she super isn't.
She's not. She's probably the ditziest one of the bunch.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to say, one thing that you'll know about this show, or this season, and probably the other season as well, I don't remember. There are very few episodes where the characters are actually like anywhere near each other.
Yeah, they plan everything over cell phone.
Everything is over cell phone, and they do a pretty good job of it. I don't think they nailed it, but it's very well done.
Well, first off, it helps that like 90% of the reason you watch the show is for the scenery porn. So they can just have you looking at scenery while the text bubbles pop up and the characters read them on the right side of the screen. And you're just like, this is fine. I'm still getting everything I wanted to get out of the show.
Yes.
Especially since they do this. I don't think they did in season 1, but the really cool CGI they do with Rin's moped going through the scenery, it's really well done.
It is well done, but it did have me questioning, like, those clips of her driving through. They're very short. Like, you guys did a lot of rigging and stuff for like a 1 second thing.
Well, they use that
same couple times.
Yeah, they use it often enough that I'm sure it's fine. And they use the same rig for Grandpa. But yeah.
I just thought also, like, you had animated that if you wanted.
You know there's a VR game where you just get to camp with Rin, right?
There is.
So they're likely using the same rig they had set up for that. So
I don't own that game, but if I had a VR headset, it'd be my first game.
I think it's on Switch, and it doesn't have to be VR.
What was the point?
It is expensive.
The point is you're there.
Yeah. You can see animated Mount Fuji, and you can look over and see your anime waifu, and life is good.
You can't waifu anybody in Yuru Camp.
I agree. They're all your friends. They're just friends.
Everybody's friends.
They're your camping buddies.
So yeah, girl's almost dying. Now they got close to dying because they didn't check the temperature of where they were going, and this was a cautionary tale to those who were trying to follow the Yuru Camp's footsteps and going camping for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Especially winter camping for the first time.
If it's winter and you're higher than normal, it's colder.
It get cold.
So check that. Also, solar chargers, people, keep them on you for your phones so you can call people and be like, hey, it's cold.
Okay.
What do?
Okay, now look. Now, they did make it seem like it was just going to get utterly frigid, and it was going to get down to -14 centigrade, which, that's 7 Fahrenheit, which isn't like ridiculously cold.
That's very damn cold, especially outside.
I mean, it's cold, but it's not ridiculously cold.
Yeah, but they didn't pack polar
Oh, they didn't pack
stuff.
They didn't pack shit. Bless their little hearts.
They had like a sleeping bag, their normal tents. No one thought to bring blankets, the normal.
Bless their whittle hearts.
But thankfully, there was somebody else there with them, or at least in the same campground, that had a wood-burning stove.
Oh, that looks super cute and cozy. I saw the little chimney on the tent, and I was like, yes, I want to be there.
I wonder how heavy that thing is.
Can't be light.
Actually, you know what I still find fascinating? Even though I'm sure it's super simple. That little table that they break out where they can put fire on it.
Yes! I was looking up those because I kind of want one for our backyard because I've got a regular fire pit, but we have an outdoor rug, and that's going to just burn through the outdoor rug. I know because that has happened once before. But if we get like one of those fire stand ones, maybe. There'll
be ash everywhere, but yes.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I like this little fire table thing.
Also, the price for things camping, ridiculous.
Some are very expensive. Yes, I mean,
like those folding chairs that they went and got.
Yes.
How much for a folding chair would you say, audience?
Well,
like you can go down to Walmart and get one for like $20. You go get a camping 100.
Yeah. Well, yes, because they're extremely light. I come from the home of the REI, brother. So like I know this stuff. I go through the REI. This show gives you the same feelings you get when you walk through the REI, which is like, ooh, I could do all of these things. And it's like, yeah, but
first you got to pay for it, and then you got to find time to do it.
Yeah, and you got to kind of learn how to do some of this stuff.
Like putting
you don't freeze to death in winter.
No. You will always have a sensei come and let you sleep in her car.
Yeah, drunk sensei.
Slightly drunk sensei. So they almost die. But
almost
die, the show sets up a scenario where there was no chance they were going to die at all. There was no actual danger.
No.
Because then they would have been sad, and the number one rule, as we've established, is...
They ain't gonna be sad.
They can't be sad. So then, Nadeshiko decides that she's going to go camping alone.
She's going to solo camp.
She is. And she makes some friends, and they find out that roast avocado is not a good idea.
A thing. It is not a thing.
The episode made me hungry.
It did. It's amazing how much you can bake with just like tinfoil.
You bake everything. Not a fan of the tomatoes. Don't like that.
Yeah.
Because tomatoes are gross.
That's just because I don't like tomatoes, yeah. Hey, if you like tomatoes, but you don't like tomatoes, tomatillos.
Never heard of it.
Tomatillo. So it's a relative of the tomato. It's small, it's green, and they taste like fried green tomato. They're a little more sour, and they're like all meat. They have a hajillion seeds in them. They're really, really good. If you like the taste of tomato, but you don't like dealing with the way tomatoes are just like mostly nothing, tomatillos. They're the way to go. They're delicious.
I'm intrigued. Still don't like tomatoes, though. Unless they are green and fried.
Tomatillo. Well, then you would love tomatillos, because that's about what they taste like.
So Nadeshiko gets it in her head that she's going to go solo camping. Over a 2-episode arc, she does.
Yep.
And the drama is they tell her, hey, make sure you stay in cell range. And she goes outside cell range.
And they're like, I can't contact her, because Rin is going solo camping at the same time. And eventually... can't even go solo camping because she's too worried that Nadeshiko has fallen and can't get up and has to go check on her.
I mean, she's probably right in worrying about Nadeshiko.
Oh, for sure.
She would end up dead somehow, probably. She would be like, hi, bear, you look cuddly. Let me hug you. And you know what? Given Nadeshiko, the bear would. The bear would hug her back.
That's true.
And now she'd have a bear friend. So she goes camping alone, and... that's it.
That's it.
She succeeds.
She succeeds. She sees good vistas. She's cozy. She makes friends. She does things mostly right. And I do like that arc because it does give you like good practical advice about going camping alone, such as, plan what you're going to do or you're going to get real bored real fast.
Tell people where you're going to go. Because Nadeshiko wasn't going to tell her sister where she was going because she didn't want to get yelled at. But then she decided,
she didn't want them to worry. It's like,
I should tell people where I'm going.
So if I disappear,
people will know. It must be nice being able to get to like all these far-flung camping spots just via the bus.
Yeah, that and just like knowing that almost all these camping sites are within range of town if you just want to walk a while.
It's like, oh, the town's so far away. How far is it? It's like 5 miles.
Like, okay.
It's like an hour.
I mean, that's a long walk, but it's not like ridiculous.
And you can walk along the road to get there?
Yeah.
Not through the woods?
These far-flung Tokyo area camping sites.
Goodness. And then we go on our largest trip yet in this series.
Yes.
We've outdone ourselves. A sprawling 450-mile epic journey. Not mile, kilometer. Epic journey through Izu.
I don't know exactly where Izu is. I'm going to look it up.
Izu is Japan. In the Shizuoka prefecture. And apparently it is where I want to live forever.
I know, right? Looks super cozy. Oh, well, come on.
It's right there. It is right there.
It's right there. Again, other countries are so small. Like, I knew it was not very far, but then you look it up on a map and you're just like, so there's downtown Tokyo.
Every scene,
there's Izu.
Fuji is like right there. It's right there, which means Tokyo is also right there.
I forget exactly where they live.
They live one one prefecture over. It's directly north of Izu.
Okay, well, that's a little further than I thought. Oh, there's Minobu. There it is. That's where they live, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so I mean that's still not that far.
Not that far.
That's still like nothing. Oh, bless them. Bless their little hearts.
So in the first season, they go around Yamanashi, and it's very nice, and it's idyllic, and I do appreciate it. But man, Izu's got like volcanoes and hot springs everywhere.
It's got it going
all
on.
the delicious foods. I'm just gonna
that like yakisoba slash
whatever it was. It was amazing.
They're little pancakes. They're the cabbage pancake from Japan.
With the sauce.
Okonomiyaki.
Oh.
It's like, I want that.
I realize, yes, this is a show that's scenery porn, but really, I think secretly, it's a food porn show in disguise.
It's both. So this really is like if I were to just text you and be like, I'm going on this super long trip over to like Forks, and you'd be like, okay, yeah. I mean, that's it's out on the peninsula, but it's not like bananas. That's not like a huge road trip.
I'm going so far, guys. I'm going to Louisville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, okay.
See you tomorrow.
I'll see you. Yeah, basically.
Also, there are capybaras in a hot spring.
They do have a capybara hot spring, and I went to see that.
I like how that was the climax of the show. Like that, they were gonna go see the capybaras, just maybe or maybe not being dead in a hot spring because they don't move at all.
Oh, because they're capybaras and the world's chillest animal.
Yes, they're the world's chillest animal in a hot spring, where the whole point is to chill out further. So they've got it made. If you want to be reincarnated, be a hot spring capybara.
Basically, come on, yeesh.
So they go around Izu. They eat things that look amazingly delicious.
Yeah, buddy.
And then they have a birthday.
They do have a birthday.
There's a small subplot of we got to keep the birthday dinner secret, but it's been long spoiled, so it's not actually a secret.
Yeah, even though when they were originally planning the trip, they're like, "Oh, we'll do something for your birthday on this trip."
And yeah, no one actually has good sleeps. Everyone's sleep schedule's all messed up during this trip.
That's true.
I did like the trick they played on Nadeshiko. Gets too excited before the trip, and so she ends up sleeping in the car the whole way there.
Yeah, that was A+.
And then, yeah, she finally wakes up and they're like, "Oh, good, finally you woke up." She's like, "Really? What? Are we there?" She's like, "No, you've been asleep 2 days. We're done.
We're done. We're going home now. We're packing up. It's over." Poor Nadeshiko.
There's so many natural features in Izu I want to go see now.
I know, right? Well, it's okay. We have a lot of them out here in the Pacific Northwest. So if you ever want to come visit us over here in the Pacific Northwest.
Do you have hot springs?
Actually we do. There's a couple of hot springs around. We haven't been to any of them, but they do exist.
Are they proper onsens?
I don't think they're proper onsens, but we do have hot spring. Actually, I believe there's one out in the Olympic National Forest because I think we were going to go try when we were doing our road trip around the peninsula.
Listen, a hot spring consists of several steps. You go there, right? You get in the hot spring with some other weird naked people.
Yeah.
You drink sake that's floating around in the water.
Yeah, you do that.
Then you get out, you drink some milk, and you scream.
You gotta have the onsen milk. I don't know what's up with onsen milk, but it's a thing.
You have to have the onsen milk.
I mean, ice cold milk is delicious, but why it's a requirement after a hot bath, I do not know.
You could also drink a beer and also scream. I think that is acceptable as well. But those are the steps.
Nah, if you come out here, we'll do a trip around the peninsula again, and you can see all of these natural features.
Will it be a very long peninsula? Like, is it 450 kilometers? Will this be a 3-day trip?
No, ours is bigger than that, actually.
Ooh.
When we went around the peninsula,
shade.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Day 1, day 2, day 3. We took a 4-day trip around the peninsula.
Did you camp?
Like a straight shot around? No, but we did stay at some nice lodges. We stayed at Lake Quinault, and we stayed at a nice little place over in Port Angeles. We went up Hurricane Ridge, see the mountains.
You don't get hurricanes over there, though.
No, it's because it gets real windy up there, so it's called Hurricane Ridge.
Okay. I'm making the H face. So they go to Izu, and then they come home.
Yep.
They decide they should keep camping.
Yeah.
Surprise.
For season 3.
Is there
season 3 Hokkaido this time? I don't know, but I hope so.
How come they don't go to Hokkaido? That's winter all the time.
Well, yeah, because it's very, very far away, I assume.
Is the manga ongoing? It is still ongoing, so we can have perpetual Yuru camps. I assume.
Let's go to Yuru Camp. Let's Yuru these camps.
I would be interested to know how many of the manga volumes have actually been put into anime. Because I feel like with this show, given what it is, in manga form, you could probably get whole episode arcs or multi-episode arcs from a single manga chapter.
Yeah, for sure. But it depends too, right? Like how much time is the original mangaka spending just doing beautiful landscapes? I don't know.
I don't know.
It could be a lot. It could be a lot of pages of beautiful landscapes.
I've read none of the manga, so I don't know. There's 12 volumes out so far, at least in Japan.
Golly.
And 10 of those have been translated into English.
That's a lot of Yuru camp.
Yeah.
That's a lot of camps that have been Yuru'd.
Now I want to go camping again. Don't worry, this feeling will pass as soon as I go look up how much a tent is.
They're expensive.
It's like $300 for the cheapest one.
Yep. Okay, so another big thing that happens in this episode is they buy a doggy tent, and that's adorable.
We never actually see the doggy tent.
It's true. And they claim that dog is a Chihuahua. That dog is not a Chihuahua. That's not what Chihuahuas look like. Unless it's some sort of Chihuahua mix. That thing is not Chihuahua. We do meet a new dog this season too. We meet Choko-chan.
Yes, and he does not run directly into Ren's stomach this time.
No.
Which is still the best joke of the whole series. That I think that's it. I've run out of things to talk about.
That's it. It's all
actually, no.
I mean, it's Yuru Camp.
Before we leave, I want to put this to you. This is the biggest conspiracy of all.
All right. They're all actually dead, and this is purgatory.
No, this is an outdoor club, right?
Yeah.
How are there no boys at all in the outdoor club?
Girls only.
Fair point. I didn't see the
Final destination.
Though. I'm just saying, there should be a boy or two in this club.
I mean, sure.
That's as much as I could get out of it. I looked for something to be like, what? Why does this show not make sense? And that was the only one.
No, everything about this show makes sense because it's a very cute show and it's great. And everybody should watch Yuru Camp because it's a good chillaxing time.
Just don't get depressed when you're like, this isn't how my life goes. Why can't my life be this idyllic? But
it's true.
If you want to go camping, pandemic season is the best time to go camping.
So they say. Well, I don't know. It's actually been very, very busy at campsites because everybody's been taking up stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it's a big country, at least here.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to watch for next time?
Do you want to continue being cozy in the bass awkward part of Japan?
Sure. Are you talking about more non-ambiori?
Yeah. let's watch it non-stop. That's all I have to say.
Ha 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 ha. That's very funny.
I thought so.
All right. Well, we will see you next time in the middle of the country.
Bye.